listen, you have a daughter, be strong for her. You can't do this. There's a saying in the entertainment business that you should always keep your audience a little hungry for you. It's always better for people to say, he's back, instead of saying, not again.
Hi everyone, joining us today is Adnan Sami. Adnan, thank you so much for taking time out to do this.
It's my pleasure to be here.
I just want to begin by asking you, your Instagram name reads Adnan 2.0.
Yeah.
What is 2.0? What has changed?
I feel as if I've moved on to a new phase in my life. I'm not the kind of person who likes to hold on to the past. I'm a very futuristic kind of a person who likes to look into the future and look at tomorrow. And so I don't like to hold on to anything from the past, however beautiful it may be. Approach your next step as if you didn't do anything before, and don't ever allow the past to make you hostage towards what you want to achieve in the future.
Talking about Alvida, what was the thought behind? Because I watched the video, and
Okay.
for me, it was a bit of a reminiscence of your previous tunes as well. Like one can still feel that original Adnan style of music.
Well, the point is that, I guess every artist, musician, person, whatever you want to call it, whatever is relevant, I think everybody has a certain signature. Whether it's in the field of music, whether it's in the field of art, paintings, you can always say, that's a Picasso, or that is a Da Vinci. You can tell that there will be a certain certain masala that or spice that they'll put in, which will say, right, okay, yeah, that is that signature, or that is R.D. Burman, that is Shankar Jaikishan, or whatever. So there will always be that certain signature, and I think that's very important.
You went ahead and you deleted everything on Instagram and then made this announcement. Like, thank God for the announcement. But why Alvida?
It's a heartbreak song, right? And I thought Alvida, Kausar Munir's, who's written the lyrics beautifully, the poetry in the song. I told her that, look, I would love it to be, I see a heartbreak in this. On one hand, it's Alvida, and on the other hand, in the lyrics, it's also saying that, listen, no matter where you go, I'll always be standing here waiting for you, because I can't get over you. And Alvida is, I love the word. I mean, sometimes we have these things about words. I mean, she could have said, get lost. See ya. Talk to the hand. It could have been anything. But Alvida by this तरीके से करने वाली बात थी. But having said that, jokes apart, when it came to the Instagram thing, I just wrote Alvida because I wanted to clean the slate, and it's a brand new song. It's a brand new phase in my life, and brand new song. I didn't say anything. I just said Alvida, and the way the interpretation started, I mean, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I was, I started looking at the comments, and I was like, what? Seriously? That's not where I'm going with this. I mean, God bless their hearts. I mean, the thing was, they were giving me strength and saying, listen, you have a daughter, be strong for her. You can't do this. And I'm like, do what?
Wow.
But I tell you something, I was like, dude, it's okay, Having said that, what was most overwhelming in this entire exercise was just to know how much love I got.
As an artist, every time you go ahead and you release something, all the eyes are on you, and especially your fans are basically seeing that, what is he coming up with the next time. Do you ever feel that pressure? You've been in the business for so long.
Yeah, it does. Simply, even if it wasn't with stars, I mean, every time I release anything new, I mean, I get the same kind of jitters and I get the same kind of butterflies in my stomach. I'm as nervous as I ever was in fact, I'm far more nervous now than ever before. When you release something in the beginning, you're a bit more relaxed because, first of all, people don't have that kind of expectations from you. You know, it's like I always say that you have a lifetime to release your first song, but you have 6 months to release your follow-up because in the first song nobody was waiting for you. So you had all the time in the world to release it, and you could have, But whereas once it has been released, and if it's done well, then everybody's like waiting. Acha, ab kya aayega? What's going to happen now? I mean, okay, and is it going to be as good as the previous one? Every time before I go on stage, regardless of whether it is 100 people or 100,000 people, I will still get the same butterflies. And the same nervousness. I'll be quiet and I'll be like, don't talk to me. No. I'll have the same kind of feeling. I mean, it's a kind of a nervous energy, which I think is a good thing. You should never take your audience for granted.
But I want to ask you that, of course, when you started, social media was not so much of a thing. But now, of course, every time you put something out there, that instant gratification or review or like whatever, criticism, any kind of criticism that comes to you is very much there. Is that daunting now?
Before there were 4 critics, now there are 4 million critics. And everybody's got a voice, and everybody has an equal voice. Even in the past, everybody didn't have access to to voice their opinion. You had the certified so-called critics. You needed even then to filter out who was genuinely giving you a got to honest review, and who was pursuing a certain agenda of their own, or who was basically venting their own personal frustrations on you. And so you needed to do that. If somebody turns around and says, well, I don't like you because you suck. And that's it. I know that person probably wasn't hugged when they were a child, so that's okay.
Talking about music industry, Adnan, we're seeing that it's becoming more competitive as we speak. You are someone who relied on doing originals back in the day. A lot of times, a lot of musicians have spoken about how sustaining as an independent artist can get difficult. What is it that you would like to share as somebody who has done it through and through ever since you began your career?
It's very easy to have a hit, but it's very difficult to sustain, The thing is that in order to sustain your success or your presence in the music industry, you need to space yourself out. A big mistake that a lot of people do is that the moment they hit success, they just start grabbing everything and anything that comes their way, regardless of whether many of the times they don't sit down to analyze that, is this going to be good for me in the long run? There's a saying in the entertainment business that you should always keep your audience a little hungry for you. It's always better for people to say, he's back, instead of saying, not again. And what will happen is that when people develop that kind of an attitude, your market, I'm speaking strictly from a business perspective, your market value is also going to get affected. If you were charging 100 rupees, I'm just saying, if you were charging 100 rupees, when you start saturating the market, it's like the typical supply and demand. If you oversupply the market, overflood the market, what you were charging 100 rupees will suddenly come down to 50 or 20 or whatever, So you need to be able to decide that, are you going to be a sprinter of a 100-meter dash, or you're going to be a marathon runner? It is important to note that ultimately it's going to be the song itself, which nowadays, people are constantly saying, content chalta hai, content chalta hai, content chalta hai. Like, excuse me, content kab nahi chala. Hamesha content hi chalta hai. It's like, suddenly people find out that there's, wait, naya lafz hai, content. Excuse me, naya lafz nahi hai. हमेशा था. कौन सी फिल्म है जो चली है जिसका कंटेंट नहीं था? हमेशा कंटेंट ही चलता है. ये कोई नया फिनोमेना नहीं है. कि आजकल की फिल्मों में कंटेंट है. Excuse me.
Thank you so much for this lovely chat, Adnan, and I wish you all the best for your new release.
Thank you. All the best. Take care. God bless.
If you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe to Mirror Now.